keeping him in 2022 and going to 2023, I think just makes Trey Lance's job much more difficult. And here's why. I think what doesn't get talked about enough. By 2023, Trent Williams' contract will be quarterback money. By 2023, Nick Bosa's contract will be quarterback money. By 2023, Eric Armstead's contract will be $20+ million. By 2023, Deebo Samuel's contract will be massive. By 2023, George Kittle's contract is massive. By 2023, Fred Warner's above $20+ million. So you have those large contracts. Trent Williams will be like 34, 35. You don't really have first round picks. I think it would put Trey Lance in a really, really difficult spot to step in if you wait till 2023 to start him for the first time.
Would there be any pros to having him enter next season as the backup? Like, Harbaugh had Colin Kaepernick enter his second year as the backup. And of course, there was not the same level of investment, but is there any pro you can point to?
I have no clue, right?
Yeah.
I've always said this. Like everybody, I've said I would like to see Trey Lance start.
Yeah.
I've also said I have no clue whether starting or sitting makes a quarterback better, because if you go through the sample size of the league, guys who have started, there's been some successes, some not so successful. Guys who've sat, there's some successes, some not successful. So I don't know that. But all I know is that it would be bizarre for a guy to not play football for 3 years when he has only 600 passes since high school.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we hit it. Seems like it would be kind of weird to not play him next year, but it can happen. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of rooting for it.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If the Packers win the Super Bowl this year, do you think they trade Jordan Love?
Interesting question. That's what the Patriots did, right? They were trying to replace Tom Brady. They won the Super Bowl. They got rid of Jimmy G. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy G doesn't compare to Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, no matter what the EPA chart tells you. He does not compare to those two guys. He's nowhere near their level. But if they kept him in 2022 and they once again made it to, the divisional round of the playoffs, then when do you ever move off of him? Then you would have to, the way you would have to recoup assets, because now you've basically wasted 2 years of maximizing your team around Jimmy Garoppolo because you gave up assets for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And then now you've already decided, well, we're winning with Jimmy Garoppolo, which means then you would have to try to recoup assets somehow so that in 2023 you could build the best team possible.
No, that's the point here. Like, I understand kind of playing this dance for 1 year, but at a certain point, you got to give one guy the best chance to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
And having them both on the team in a salary cap era, this isn't 1986, 1987 like it was with Steve Young and Joe Montana. There's an effect, and where's the effect? Look at special teams. Look at the secondary.
Yes, and there was no salary cap. I want to reiterate that. The Niners won their first 4 Super Bowls essentially in a non-salary cap era. So you can keep
sport now. It's a different game.
Yeah. And of course, Steve Young thinks sitting was useless for him. I saw, it's funny because, I never thought Niners fans would say something disrespectful about Steve Young. He goes and says that, Steve Young's just salty. He was never Joe. He was not good. Blah, blah,
fans
blah.
Try to act like Steve sat because he wasn't ready. He sat because he wasn't as good as the greatest quarterback of all time. That's the reason. That's the reason. Anyway, let's take some questions. Coincidence we start to win once McFloppy is out?
No.
Probably a coincidence.
So Tom Compton, shout out to him. He's been incredible in the run game.
Terrible in the pass game. But he has, the Niners actually have, I think, improved in the run game since Tom Compton has gotten in there. He's making himself some money. Tom always gets the last laugh. Is Kittle back to being the best tight end in the NFL? I think he's finally the best tight end in the NFL. Because I always gave it to Kelsey, but now Kittle scoring touchdowns like a...
It was always him and Kelsey, but it leads me to believe that I don't know what he was playing through in 19 and 20, because I feel like this year we're seeing the explosiveness that we saw in 2018 from George Kittle, where any pass you feel like he can take it the entire distance the way he would in 2018. So, yeah.
Yeah. Luis says, time for Granta Claus to bring that Blue Yeti mic to Vish on Christmas. Hope this helps. Yeah. Vish, after the show, let me know your address. I need to send that. I'm trying to be like a franchise quarterback. I'm trying to send all my offensive linemen. So I'm going to send all my guys Blue Yetis for Christmas. It's going to be a little late because it's the 20th, but I'm gonna send you that blue. I swear to God. So
Oh,
afterward,
I appreciate it. That's really nice.
It's basically hella people funding it that aren't even me anyway. But no, I'm trying to take care of my guys.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
For sure. Seems like the Titans have lost all of their offensive weapons with Julio going down with a hammy. Do you think the defense can take advantage?
Yeah. So one thing on this topic, AJ Brown
Yeah.
during our show was actually activated.
Oh, okay. So
His
it'll be a
practice
game.
window
It'll be
was
a
open
game.
from IR, but
Yeah.
there's no that doesn't mean he's going to play Thursday. It just means his practice window
point.
has been opened.
Good point.
He might practice this week and then play next week. But yeah, this defense is going to take advantage. This defense is really, really good. You know, a certain someone who took shots at me was calling this defense a liability for 4 or 5 straight weeks.
Oh, because they're making Jimmy look bad, right? Right.
They were never a liability.
No. Johnny says, Debo, it ain't safe on the block, not even for the cops. Debo, it's so cool that one of the best players in the NFL is named Debo. I love that.
I still think he should be called Craig. Craig beat up Debo in the movie.
You got to talk to Tyshawn about that.
Yeah.
Tyshawn, Raekwon. Is it Raekwon? Is that his middle name?
I don't know what it is. But Craig, Ice Cube's character ends up beating up big old bully Debo. So
he hit him with a brick though. Is that against the rules? I think it's okay. He did him with a brick though. I guess you got to do what you got to do.
Knock out a mouth guard with a shoulder. That shoulder should be a good.
Ryan, I think maybe the wind under Robert Wings, and Ryan is doing a hell of a job. What he had, that Ryan was the wind beneath Robert Wing. Hey, he had him the whole time, right? Well, all the times he was successful.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Saleh was good in his own right. I just think he made the mistake of thinking that everybody with inexperience can start and do a good job with the Jets. They don't have an experienced member there.
Also, Saleh was 1 year late on the too high coverage craze that would have won the Niners the Super Bowl. I mean, because look, it was a full team collapse in the fourth quarter. It wasn't just offense. It wasn't just Kyle. It wasn't just Jimmy. It was the defense too, and it was Saleh. I mean, he was very committed to that, and no one would do that. No one would do that anymore, right?
He wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, a lot has changed. This team be contenders with Verrett and Mostert. Might be contenders without him.
Yeah, and with Verrett, this is the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion.
You think they re-sign Verrett?
I think they'll re-sign Verrett.
I think they will.
Rank order. I wouldn't. There's nobody else that'll sign him.
He's part of the family, man. If he's going to Cabo, he's coming back.